Welcome to the SVG-TV news for Friday, February 21st, 2020. I'm Khalil Kato with the details. Over the next 5 years, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is expected to minimize the time of import and export by 30% and increase its export volume by 20%. This is part of the National Trade Map for 2020 to 2025, which was launched today and is now ready for implementation. Assistant Comptroller of Customs and Excise Alicia Dick Brazel said as part of the plan, the National Facilitation Committee has developed 7 goals which must be achieved by 2025.
Improve the functioning of the National Trade Facilitation Committee, reduce the cost of import and export by 20%, improve connectivity between customs and other border agencies, foster maritime connectivity, and implement at least 60% of the trade facilitation measures. From these goals, we highlighted activities and sub-activities geared towards achieving each particular goal.
According to Dick Brazel, bottlenecks at the port is one of the priority areas that the Customs and Excise Department will be seeking to address.
It is ideal to implement a full risk management module. This is just one of the activities. We can't go into all of them now, right? The single window would come in here as well. Their goods may not even have to be examined at the border. So with compliance, it means that you can get your goods one time and you can go with your goods, right? And later on in the back end, customs can audit you. Once you're compliant, you have no problem. So you have your goods at your disposal to meet your customers at an early time frame, and customers will be happy, the businesses will be happy.
Continuous training of staff will also be carried out as the import and exports procedures are implemented and enforced. ASICUDA World Implementation Advisor Terence Leonard said that all relevant agencies and authorities will be involved in the process, which will help to improve revenue and the country's economic growth.
I'm talking about customs, the Ministry of Trade, Agriculture and Health. All the players in the process should be integrated into a single platform to ensure a seamless flow of the goods. And then thirdly, to reduce the time and resources needed for cargo clearance. We know time is money, and the private sector is in the business of making money, and we know governments don't really trade. It is the trading community that trades. Government should always be a facilitator of trade, and that's what we've been talking about.
The National Trade Roadmap was initiated several years ago with the establishment of the National Facilitation Committee. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines continues to take citizens' security seriously. This assurance was given by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves as he addressed the handing over ceremony yesterday of several pieces of crime scene investigations equipment to the RSVG police force. The equipment will help to boost the capacity of the RSVG police force to gather evidence more efficiently from crime scenes. PM Gonsalves said his government over the years has made tremendous investments in the police force, which has been seen in infrastructure and necessary equipment. He said the police force has also maintained good relationships with regional and international law enforcement agencies and organizations, which allows it to access databases from the UK, US, and other countries in the region.
The name is run through the computer database. And before the plane arrives, immigration, special branch, and customs at the airport know whether you're a bad boy or a bad girl coming into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the authorities will decide whether they allow you to come, because sometimes even though they know you're bad, they still allow you to come in because sometimes you have to throw sprat to catch whale. That's the nature of the business. And I say there's Interpol. And we have our arrangements with the United States of America and with France and with Britain, because those are Caribbean countries. The USA is a Caribbean country. France has territories in the Caribbean. Britain has territories in the Caribbean. And of course, we have the links with the European Union more broadly.
PM Gonzalez said under his government, many policemen and women have been afforded greater opportunities for educational advancement through university education.
On hand, over 100 and something. And we should have more, but because of the kind of accommodation and the requisites of police work and where they would stay and all the rest of it. And there's some limitations there still. And they forget, some, that in order to shake the system to make sure that people go on to do university education, I say we must begin, as always, you have to shock the system. We selected a young lady who was only 25 years of age and said that we're going to have an officer corps entrance. When people see that a young lady of 25 years of age with a first degree and a master's, that she's an ASP, and we choose a good candidate because she was down to earth and could go into the canteen and laugh and heckle and have jokes and behave everything. They say, well, she's one of us. She's one of the boys.
The Prime Minister said the work done has also helped to transform the image of the RSVG police force.
People just studying. Everybody. There are dozens inside of the police force now. First degrees, masters, so on. And mothers, including mothers from the middle class, who will turn their back if their daughters 20 years ago had brought a policeman to cross the threshold of the tenement. Now saying, yes, come. Come, you're welcome.
Commonwealth Secretary General Baroness Patricia Scotland met earlier this week with several CARICOM heads, including Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, at the 31st Intersessional Meeting of CARICOM in Barbados. Baroness Scotland is Dominican by birth and is the first female Commonwealth Secretary General. She is now seeking a second consecutive term in office. However, there have been some attempts to stop this from happening. Several Commonwealth countries, including Britain, Australia, and New Zealand, have suspended voluntary contributions to the Commonwealth Secretariat until after they say the Secretariat's financial systems are tightened up and tested by external auditors, after Scotland was criticised by auditors for circumventing the usual competitive tendering rules when she awarded a lucrative consultancy contract to a company run by a friend. In a telephone interview with SVG-TV News today, Baroness Scotland said she is overwhelmed with the support she received from the CARICOM heads, highlighting climate change as a key area the Commonwealth Secretariat supports the region to cushion the effects.
To support the living lands, by which I mean we are seeing a great deal of drought, water difficulty, food insecurity. How do we take advantage of the indigenous knowledge in our communities, all those things, to make sure that our land use is better. And so we in the Commonwealth are thinking of creating a new charter, similar to the Green Charter, the Blue Charter that we created for better management of oceans that's been so successful. So we are thinking of a land-based charter, which we're going to call the Call.
Baroness Scotland further noted that the Commonwealth Secretariat has assisted SVG in a number of areas, including securing a seat as a non-permanent member on the UN Security Council. Pledging her continued support to SVG, the Secretary-General was in high praise of a Vincentian who is on staff at the Commonwealth Secretariat.
If I may say so, particularly from your Prime Minister Gonzalez, who was very forthright and unequivocal in his appreciation. We also talked about our data portal, because one of the things I'm very proud of, and I know the Prime Minister is very proud of is that one of the young people in my secretariat who has been responsible for creating an algorithm which we use to aggregate and disaggregate data, which really helps to our member states to understand what it is that they should do in terms of policy and understanding the empirical data, is in fact a young Vincentian, who I think is an extraordinarily gifted young man. So I was able to thank the Prime Minister for allowing such.
Pleased with her work over the last 4 years, Baroness Scotland says she is looking forward to accomplishing more once given a second term in office.
I'm not making this bid, if you like. My country and the region is making this bid for me, and they want me to continue to serve as the Caribbean's candidate for the reappointment as Secretary General, and that makes me very proud. I am a Caribbean person from Dominica, and nothing can be nicer than to have the support of your whole region saying that they are pleased and indeed proud of what you and they have been able to contribute together for the whole Commonwealth of our 54 nations.
Water is one of the most important resources for the maintenance of life, and monitoring the amount and quality of this resource is key during the dry season. As such, the Water Management Unit of the Central Water and Sewerage Authority has installed an automatic weather station which will provide the necessary hydrological data. The station will be used to collect, analyze and validate climatological data, as well as measuring the quality and quantity of water flow at various points. According to a report from the Caribbean Climate Outlook Forum, SVG, like most Caribbean countries, will experience below normal rainfall during this dry season and hence will be under a drought watch. Senior technician at the CWSA, Danroy Ballantyne, said the newly installed weather station is a key piece of infrastructure which will allow them to effectively manage the water supply.
It's important that we actually have all of these in the watershed so that we can monitor the flows and the river levels, especially in extreme conditions. All right. The purpose of these stations really, all right, is for flood analysis. So it gives us high flows results. It also can give us low flow results so that we know from a CWSA standpoint how to manage our water supply. All right. The CWSA is really involved in all of these things for design and planning. All right. And for effective water supply, we have to know the quantity and the quality. We have to be able to manage our water supply.
Ballantyne said the data collected by the weather station will be of key importance to many organizations.
Besides our pipe work and things like that, we in CWSA provide these information to relevant agencies and ministries such as the Ministry of Agriculture, the Met Services, the Forestry Department, and the Ministry of Sustainable Development. All right, and so we have close collaboration with these ministries, providing them with data and information from a hydrometric standpoint.
Meanwhile, a representative of the Caribbean Institute for Hydrology and Meteorology, Jonathan Cox, said the data will also be made available in real time to regional stakeholders.
What we've installed is a radar water level station. This station transmits the information in real time via satellite and cell so that collaborators such as CWSA can actually have that information at their disposal and make more informed decisions both in drought and flood instances. The purpose of the station is to provide data in real time for regional collaborators, of course including CWSA, the agriculture and the forestry divisions. This information is also available on the Caribbean Duetra platform, so it can be analysed downloaded and later archived as required.
Reverend Ortis Samuel Nichols was last evening installed as rector of the Cathedral Parish of St. Andrew and St. George's. He was inducted by the Right Reverend Leopold Friday, Bishop of the Diocese of the Windward Islands, at a ceremony held at the St. George's Cathedral in Kingstown. As he gets ready to take up his responsibilities, Reverend Nichols assured the gathering that he will serve to the best of his abilities.
Samuel Nichols, having been duly appointed Dean of this Cathedral Church, do hereby promise that I will duly observe the statutes, rules and customs of this Cathedral Church, and will defend its just rights and privileges so far as in me lies. Reverend Sir, having been duly appointed Dean of this Cathedral Church, I present myself to you to be installed as Dean of the Cathedral Chapter.
Reverend Nichols also thanked the Bishop Leopold Friday and the members of the parish of St. George and St. Andrew for giving him the opportunity to be the rector of the cathedral.
First, let me express thanks to Almighty God through the Bishop of this diocese for offering me this opportunity. Extend thanks to the church wardens, Michael and Steve, and the rest of the parish church council of this parish for their continued support and hard work thus far. Members of the 200th Anniversary Committee, members of the Cathedral Parish, the invaluable support and work ethics of the church office staff. I'd like to extend thanks to the head teacher and students of the Petersville Primary School.
He reminded the public of the 200-day challenge, which is part of the 200th anniversary celebration of the cathedral.
Now we are having our 200-day challenge that started on the 13th of February, where we are encouraging persons here in St. Vincent and abroad to save $1 per day, but also to write on a piece of paper, this is vital, something that you are thankful for while you put aside that $1 to be given to the cathedral on the 30th of August.
At last evening's event, there was a collation of the Venerable Michael Augustine Marshall and the Reverend Canon Junior Ebenezer Ballantyne as members of the cathedral chapter. L.A. Douglas Williams, Patricia Doris James, Dennis Russell, Medlington Lambert, deceased, Diocesan Chancellor Emeritus Justice, the Honorable Francis Cumberbatch, were also recognized for their years of service to the cathedral. The Guyanese Association of SVG will be bringing together Guyanese living here to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Republic. The Republic anniversary, which will be observed on Sunday, February 23rd, will include a church service in Kingstown.
We'll be giving God thanks for Guyana being celebrating its 50th anniversary. As you know, the number 50, it depicts Jubilee in the Bible when we look the 50th year. And God had promised so many things for Israel, and by extension, Guyana can look forward for a new era, an era of excitement, an era of great things happening, an era of great opportunities as we celebrate our 50th anniversary. So once again, I'm encouraging and asking all of you to come out and be a part of our 50th anniversary service. It starts at 10:30 a.m. and invitation extended to all the Guyanese living in St. Vincent, as well as the Vincentian community.
The main celebration event will be held at the Girl Guides Hut next Saturday, February 29th. And President of the SVG Guyanese Association, Gwyneth Cambridge, said that keeping the Guyanese culture alive is important for Guyanese living in SVG, which they can share with their Vincentian family and friends.
We are proud of who we stand for, because if it wasn't for that, then we would not maybe have been where we are today. So we're looking for patriotism, we're looking for loyalty, and we're looking for a sense of worth in who they are as a Guyanese people. And that is the bedrock of our association, and we're looking forward for people to come and see what is it that we do. Let us reminisce. Let us talk about this time in a long time. Remember those days when we really enjoyed that sense of, you know, culture and that sense of dance and that sense of jubilee as it is.
Part of CARICOM, and I do remember watching a video clip with the Honorary Consul, Mr. Russell, talking about jobs available in Guyana, and you know, we may have intentions apply for those jobs. But when you go down there now, being a part of the Guyanese SVG Association, you will be aware of the culture already. So it will be easy for you to fit in to those jobs, be it working on the oil rig or be it working on the mainland of Guyana.
Shirts James, who goes by the stage sobriquet The Problem Child, will be representing St. Vincent and the Grenadines this evening in tonight's finals of the International Soca Monarch competition in Trinidad and Tobago. Problem Child will perform Nasty Up, a song described by one media house in TNT as one of the bigger songs on the night. He is supported by the Carnival Development Corporation and the St. Vincent Brewery Limited. Problem Child, who will be performing at number 10, will be among 11 contenders vying for the International Soca Monarch title, held by Mr. Killer of Grenada, being the first non-Trinidadian to win the International Power Soca Monarch title. The Regis Theatre Alliance Group will be addressing a number of social ills in SVG with its production Love is a Joke, which will be on showcase this Sunday at the Peace Memorial Hall. The theatre group's Chief Executive Officer, Jacinta Edwards, said that there will be several short skits that will seek to inform and educate patrons on these issues.
With Regis Theatre Alliance Packer Jokers, you can be comfortable with bringing the entire family because our productions are clean and you always leave with something worthwhile attending our productions. We present serious issues where at least you get a message. Like everything else, Regis Theatre Alliance, we like to involve the young people, and so as usual we have created a platform for the young people to be on board and to showcase their talent.
According to Edwards, they will be delivering a quality theatre production, and the play will help to answer the many questions that are currently trending on love.
The question is being asked, love is a joke? Packer Jokers attempts to answer this question. The admission is $30, $15 for children, so we expect a packed audience on Sunday. Packer Jokers talk the things, ask the question, love is a joke, and we'll answer that for you. If you're stressed out, if you're depressed, if you're home alone, then all road leads to the SVG Memorial Hall, aka Peace Memorial Hall.
This is the fourth year that Regis Theatre Alliance, also known as Packer Jokers, are holding the production.